y'all, I have a really fun DIY embellishment tutorial for you today, and I'm just simply calling these decorated doilies because really that's all it is. I have 3 different kinds of doilies here. I have these very tiny doodlebug ones. I have some 4-inch Cambridge doilies and several halves of the 6-inch Cambridge doilies. And I'll show you how I use those halves later when I do one of them. But starting with the smallest one, I'm just grabbing bits and pieces of these floral ephemera that I printed from the Sweet Shop Designs little shop that they have. It's a free printable. It was created by Tracy Reed and it's really cute. So came with tons of floral ephemera. I thought that would be a fun way to try this out and show you guys how I create my clusters on doilies. So highly recommend you check that out. Free printables are always a good thing. Now I printed these on cardstock and on vellum, and that was a bit of a new thing. I've never printed on vellum before, but they turned out really nice, and I'm just clustering them together in what looks good to my eye. Here's one of those half doilies, and I'm going to create a fairly large floral cluster on these bigger doilies using the larger pieces. If I was to use one of those larger pieces on the smaller doily, it really would take up the whole thing. What am I going to use these for? Well, these larger ones are going to go alongside a photo. I quite often do that on my layouts. I'll put it either on the side or underneath of my photo. And it adds a little bit of just a little design feature. And the doily itself does add a little bit of texture. And I really like the way that that looks. So I'm going to cluster these together. And some of them I'll add the little word phrases that came in the little printable. It's for a traveler's notebook, this printable, and so there are several pieces to it. There's some papers and things like that you can print as well, but this is just the sticker sheet that came with the printable. So printed it out, fussy cut out all this stuff. I could have used my silhouette, but I didn't. My silhouette and I are not on good terms at the moment, so I just fussy cut them out. Didn't really take that much time. See here, I use them right next to a photo. I pretty much have decided that my silhouette and I are not friends, and until I figure out how to beat the silhouette, I'm just going to keep working on it. So I am going to do several different sizes of doilies here and have a little bit of fun just mixing and matching the hearts and the flowers and trying to create they're fairly neutral colors, which I like. None of these are super bright in your face, and they could tuck into a lot of different kinds of layouts. So I want to incorporate some of these little circles, and these were great. These are little 1-inch circles. I was able to punch those out with my 1-inch circle punch, which was nice. And the rest of them had a nice little faint gray line outline around them so that you could easily cut them out and still have that nice white edge. So that was really nice too. I really like these flowers. I'm not sure why. They're not usually the type of flower that I go to, but I do like them. They're really cute. And they had those nice little sprigs, sprigs of almost look like berries or buds, but they're really cute, and it made it really easy to just kind of mesh the different layers and different sizes together, and I really liked that. So these are going to sit on my desk, and when I have a layout or a card, or for these smaller doodlebug ones, my plan is to put them onto Project Life cards, journaling cards, and pop them in as just a little decorative card in my layouts. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. And I'm not going to show you a ton of them. And there is still photos at the end of the ones that I made. And I will say though, using the vellum was a little bit more challenging. And when I realized that, I kind of scrapped it and went back to the cardstock. Save that tough stuff for later, Laura. Let's do the easy stuff first. So I did, and then I did eventually get around to using the vellum ones too. The challenge with the vellum, of course, is that you can see through it, and so layering vellum can be a bit tricky. What I did end up doing is just trimming the things that were overlapping so that you weren't having so much of that happening, and also layering things like the cardstock word strips over top of the areas that bothered me the most. And you'll see that in just a minute. But really, this is just a large cluster, putting it together. I will say, though, that I think I made this harder on myself than it had to be, Because normally when I'm making these, I just stick them, put them down, stick it, put them down, and try not to think about it too much. And I was really over planning this. And then I would pull everything off and try to reassemble it. And there's no way it would go back exactly the way I had planned it. So why I was that concerned about it, I really don't know. Tried a couple different things here. I think at this point I was running low on the cardstock ones. The cardstock ones were much easier to layer. And now I'm trying with the vellum, and I'm getting frustrated because you can see the layers through. And I left this in because I wanted you to see that even though this is a tutorial about how to cluster, I'm not perfect. I am not a perfect scrapbooker, and I'm still figuring things out too. So yes, this is how to do a really cool embellishment, but I decided to challenge myself by adding vellum, which vellum and I, we're new friends. We're new friends. We're not old friends yet. So we're still learning each other's ways of working, I think is the way I want to say that. And yeah, so vellum and I, we're just chilling. We're just trying to figure things out. I am going to do, for this one, you can see the layers through, and it was really bothering me. So once I found a cluster that I really liked, I decided to put one of those word stickers over the center to cover up most of the layering. And I really think that helped a lot. And then I realized if I trim off some of these leaves that are popping up behind the flowers, I think I'll like that a lot better. And I did. So then I pulled up some of those leaves and trimmed them off, and boom, so much better. Don't be afraid to modify your embellishments, guys. Make them work for you. It is perfectly okay to cut up your embellishments. It's perfectly okay to cut up your papers. Make them work for you. The designers of these papers and embellishments know that you are going to have to modify them to fit your needs. So here we go. This one is with the vellum, and I really like how this came out. I did decide to pop this little green heart in there just to give it a little bit of something extra, but pretty simple, pretty simple. That's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye.